Okay, good morning, world. How are we today? Okay, this morning. Well, this morning, first off, I will share that we are about to move. We're about to move. We have just secured a new rental property, and it's in a location where my daughters can still go to the same school, so it's not, it's not too far away. It's all still in the same region. But like here where we live, it's like, you've got, one town is 10 minutes down the road from the next town, and then there's another town 10 minutes down the road from that town. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there's lots of towns around, but everyone's still going to the same supermarket. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, and yeah, so really happy about that, really excited. And the house that we've been in now for the last couple of years, it has been kind of a rip-off given how old the house is, and just the size of it and everything, and the amount of maintenance required for the property and everything. And for a bit more, now we get to move into a bigger house, and it's a brick house, and it'll be better insulated, and it's actually like near a port inlet, so can walk by the water and all that sort of stuff, do some fishing. I think it'll be really good for all the girls. They're really excited about it. I'm super excited about it. I'm really grateful. I was praying to God for a long time for some positive change in our life, in this sort of way as well. Like my two oldest girls will have their own bedrooms now. They've been sharing, and just more space, and more even where we've been renting the last couple of years has been up in the hills, 20 minutes out of each town, like both ways. It's a town 20 minutes that way, it's a town 20 minutes that way. But it's just not an ideal location for when you have kids and they want to be not too far from particular things, whether it's parks, beaches, their friends, whatever, shops, whatever. I just feel like this ticks more boxes as well for them. And so everyone's really happy. I'm super grateful that this is happening. So the next few weeks are going to be quite hectic, quite busy. It's a lot of work, isn't it, to move house? Probably even more work the more people that you are moving house for. So we're a big family. We're a family of 7, and we have a lot of stuff, and so exciting times. But I was also thinking, over the last couple of days, obviously there's been like a shift in my thinking or my mood or whatever, with this really good positive for our family news, right? And then I was thinking about the last video I had made, talking about feeling like a a bit of a lost lamb, and feeling a bit like I didn't have stability in my life as much as I wanted. And now with everything, with all this house talk and everything, now I'm kind of thinking as well, I mean, when you rent a house, it depends as well with, sometimes there are different renting situations. But like for most people as well, it's like, technically a rental lease can be broken by the landlord, the owner, at any point. It doesn't matter if you've signed a contract for 12 months. They can say they need to sell the place, and you get given a month's notice to move. They could say, it's been deemed this, and you've got to move out so they can do renovations on it. They can say that they have to move into it themselves for financial reasons or whatever. And you've got a month to go find somewhere else to live. And, we've all been aware, haven't we, over the last several years. I mean, it was still happening well before COVID, well before. I know because I went to 1 million rental inspections before COVID. I handed in 1 million, that's an exaggeration, but I handed in so many rental applications for places, and other people got it, and it wasn't because I had a bad application form or anything, anyway, so like we've known for years and years that the rental market is just abysmal with, I mean, there's like 200 people applying for each rental house, and just doesn't seem like there's ever enough, and all this sort of stuff. And then even when you do get one, like I said, it can be gone, it can be taken from you, you can find yourself without a home at any point. And that really does breed a sense of instability in your life, doesn't it? It's destabilizing to live your life where at any given moment you could get notice that, hey, you've got 4 weeks to move out. You know what I mean? And we've been like, with the place that we're at now, my partner knows the owner, and so there was a sense of stability with this house, but then again at one point he was talking about possibly needing to sell it, so that him and his partner could buy themselves something else. So there was a time when this rental that we're currently in was also not stable. And then, that changed again, and it was stable again. But do you know what I mean? And then, this place that we're moving into, again, it's actually somebody that my partner knows, that owns the property, and there's a big level of stability with it, talking, agreements for years and years to be able to rent this place. And in years time, it could be 2 years, could be 5 years, could be whatever. Sometimes, your family dynamics change, or your needs, or whatever. And, I've got one daughter who, she's turning 17 this year. It's not like she's going to be living at home forever either. And, although I would want her to, but she wants to leave the nest, And, anyway, yeah, so with this, comes a big level of stability, but there's always still a chance, isn't there, with rentals? There's always still a chance that something changes and you find yourself having to look for a new home. And then I was thinking, well, is it actually just with rentals? Because a lot of people as well, again, not just because of COVID, but cost of living and income's not matching for a long time, in comparison to cost of living hikes and interest rates and, your mortgage payments going up and everything else going up. For a long time as well, a lot of people have had to sell their houses because they couldn't keep up with their mortgage. That's it. Just because people have a house with a mortgage as well, doesn't mean that they have all the stability in the world. I think we've talked about this before. Things can happen, and the bank will take that property from you. And you will find yourself having to fight it out in the rental market as well, wouldn't you? Unless you've got family or something to stay with. So, and then I was thinking, that instability that we find ourselves in regards to a home, a home, a place to call your home, a place for you to create a nest for your family, is such an important thing, isn't it? Like, for a human and for a family of people. And I think it's great that people are out there living alternative ways and all that sort of stuff as well. With people make a van their nest, don't they? People make all sorts of setups their home, and it's theirs. And I like the idea of people who even just to counteract the effects of job loss or cost of living rises and all this sort of stuff, that they what's it called, downsize. They downsize and live in alternative ways, like in a motorhome, caravan, a van, whatever, to give themselves that stability, to give themselves that safe space, and that's what we did during COVID with our motorhome bus. We created a safe space where it's like, no matter what, we have a home. And it might not be as big as a house, but we had a home that met all of our needs in terms of with bathroom and heating and kitchen and bedding and everything, and then our property that we were lucky enough as well to also own. People do what they have to do to give themselves that stability, because I feel like without it, I feel like people can really lose their sense of identity, and stability and everything, but also mental health. Hey, the biggest part of probably why there's a lot of mental health issues with people who find themselves homeless and stuff is because they've got no stability, they've got no safe place to call home. It's such an important thing. I really don't understand why there can't be, even by the government, more type of caravan parks or something like that, quickly whipped up, to help with homeless people and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In a Western country, it really is ridiculous that there are any homeless people that there is any kind of a housing crisis. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a joke. It points out the failings, the failures of the government of that country. Really, I mean, there is no other excuse for it. Geez, that person was really up my bum, even though I was indicating and slowing down for a long time. I really don't like that. You know, that is another thing actually for why I am excited to be moving, because this road that we live on currently, people just, you know, they just fly down it. Like, yes, it's 100 kilometers anyway, which I don't think it should be. You know, especially where it's known that there are residential properties. You know, people just up the road from us as well is like a bend, and people, even like logging trucks and stuff like that, they just like fly. I swear they're doing way more than 100. Just fly around, and it's like, it's almost like you're risking your life, like when you leave your driveway. And even like just now, you know, like even if I'm indicating for a while before I'm approaching our property to turn in, you know, it's like, I don't know, people are just so impatient or bad drivers or something that, you know, they're just right up your bum, right up to when you're turning in your driveway, and that's when accidents happen, you know. Yeah, just like slow down for a minute. Anywho, so that is the update, and that is my thoughts on how destabilizing it can be for people to you know, have instability and like to do with housing. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? It's like, to me, it feels like the most important thing to a human. You know, and even for, if you want to like go back in sort of like human instinct and stuff, even to do with like tribal people and things, they still have their you know, encampment type situations, don't they? And you know, they will defend their space, their home, to the death, you know, from intruders, anyone wanting to you know, intrude or take over or things like that. And you know, yeah, just to have your home taken away from you is like a really destabilizing thing for your mental health as well. I remember, well, two situations. I remember when we lost our rental during COVID. I was like, I had kind of almost like a mental breakdown about just like the anxiety of what's going to happen to our family and stuff. And a similar, you know, feeling came over me when I left my second daughter's father, the one who I've spoken about before. Was very violent, and we owned a house together, and you know, during separation and going through court and everything like that, I mean, his lawyer was really nasty too, and there was no consideration for the fact that it was like I had to mentally and emotionally heal either from everything that had happened to me, and try to get my feet on solid ground. It was like kind of very quickly thrust into court stuff and lawyers and back and forth with emails and all this communication that, you know, I had to respond to, and basically like you know, being given a time frame for me and my children to get out of the house that I also part owned, and you know, at that time, that's when I was like doing so many rental applications and going to so many rental inspections, and yeah, it was just hopeless. It was just hopeless, and yeah, that same sort of, it's really destabilizing when you don't know where you're going to live, especially if you have a time frame, especially when you've got children. Um, you know, it's the worst. It's the worst. Anywho, I'm home and I better go before the baby wakes up. And yeah, so some good news, and I hope as well that you know, everyone who watches, I hope that you don't forget to you know, share with God your concerns, your fears, your hopes and dreams. You know, talk to him like he is your friend. Talk to him like a, you know, your grandfather. And you know, don't be afraid to share what you desperately want or need, you know, for yourself, your family. Because, you know, your prayers can be answered. They can be. And, you know, if it's right for you at the time, and everything is right in God's time, okay? And I know as well, even with this place that we've been in, you know, it's had ups and downs, and it's some of it's been tough and hard work, and not, I don't think everyone could, you know, live on a farm in a farmhouse like this. Anyhow, I gotta go. I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, and you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.